Love the smell of a wood burning stove on a crisp fall morning. What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I know the past couple of videos I've been doing some cooking and stuff like that. Another hobby I like doing is building stuff. Now I'm no professional carpenter, but I enjoy it and it's fun. Today we're going to be building a bowl hanger for my bowl and my wife's bowl. Last weekend we cleaned up our office a bit and I wasn't quite happy with how they were hanging in the office, so did some research, watched some YouTube videos, and I found a plan that I like. It's going to add a little bit to the office, hanging the bows nice. It'll be kind of a decorative type thing. So yeah, I got to run to the lumber store to pick up some supplies, and we'll meet you back here and I'll show you what you guys all need, and then we'll go through the whole thing and build it together. So see you when we get back. Okay, so I just got back from the lumber store, and what you guys are gonna need to start off with is 3 pieces of 1x6. Now, I didn't have any 1x6, so I had some old pine shelving board that I had left over, so I just ripped that into 1x6. It's actually 3/4 by 5.5. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut 2 side pieces at 30 inches, and with the width of my bow and my wife's bow, you want the base, or I'm gonna be cutting the base at 27 inches. So that may vary with the different riser lengths and everything, or riser heights, sorry, from limb to limb of how your bow is spaced out. So for us, 27 inches is gonna work. So I have everything marked that I'm gonna cut to length. Other stuff you need is 3/8 doweling, and I'll show you what that's gonna be for later. A speed square, that always comes in handy. Some sort of marking stick, some clear coat, brushes for the clear coat, and you're probably wondering why the heck do I have a torch here? Well, that's gonna come later. I'm gonna try something I've never tried before. So yeah, that's basically all you need for materials. Now for cutting everything, a circular saw will work for cutting your lengths. I'm using a miter saw. It's way more precise, but not everybody has one, so a circular saw will work too. So yeah, let's get to cutting. So what I'm going to do now is cut everything to my length that I want. So this first one's going to be 30. The first and second one are going to be 30 inches. And the last one's going to be 27. See how nice that is with a miter saw? Quick, easy, clean cuts. Another tool I forgot to mention before is a measuring tape. That's very important. So now that you have your boards, your side boards cut to your 30-inch length, what you're gonna do is mark your notches. So the reasoning for these notches is to leave room for the bows to hang. This rack should hold 3 bows is what my plan is. We only have 2, but you know, our boys are growing up, and once they're old enough, they'll get their own bows too. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep the bottom at 6 inches, and you're going to measure 10 inches up, which I've done already. And then you're going to come in 3.5 inches, and then you're going to measure 10 inches up from there, which would be 10 inches from the top down as well. And then from this, you're going to measure 1.5 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to run speed square. You run your line all the way across the top. And then we're gonna measure 3.5 inches here, just so we know where that is gonna be cut off. And then we're gonna run straight edge, and that's gonna be, I'm gonna exit because that's what we're gonna cut out. And then what we're gonna do is, so that's gonna be back, we're gonna straight edge, actually I'm gonna measure up here a bit, 1.5, and then straight edge that. And then that's what we're going to cut out here. So basically, we're going to do this to the second one and then get to cutting. So for the second one, we'll go through it again a little bit closer up. And then I might overlay closer up of what it's supposed to look like after everything's done. So again, we're going to measure 10 inches up, and then 3.5 in. And that's going to be our first line, or notch. And then we're going to go 10 inches down from the top. And then we're going to go 1.5 inches in. And that will be that notch there. Now, I'm also going to measure 3.5 because that's where it's going to end. And we're going to grab our straight edge here. Actually, I can just use this one. Get it as close as I can here. So basically what we're going to be doing is cutting this out, and then I forgot to measure up here, 1.5, and then we'll straight edge that. And then we're going to be cutting this out. So I'll show you a bit of a close-up. So when you're all measured out, it should look like this. Okay, now that we're ready to cut, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a jigsaw, just because it's a little easier to get into the corners and everything, and cut out the notches, and then I'll show you what we're going to do after. So let's get to cutting. Okay, so once you're done cutting your notches, it should look kind of something like this. So now what I'm going to do is clamp these both together and then sand everything just to make sure that it's all the same and perfect. So let's do that. Make sure you're flush on the bottom. These quick clamps come in handy for a lot of things. Highly suggest picking some up. They're pretty affordable. Okay, we're good there. Clamp at the top here. There we go. So basically it should kind of look like this. So now you can kind of see how it's kind of off here. We're going to fix that with the sander. Make sure everything is the same. Okay, let's do this. So there, once you're done, should be nice and smooth, nothing grabs, everything's the same. That's perfect. So now, what we're gonna do is take these off. And remember that base, like I said before, I cut to 27. Because of the width of our bows. And I should actually go get a piece of plywood to put on here. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. This is better. So anyways, remember that one that we cut before that I marked at 27? Again, I'll reiterate that depending on your limb length of your bows, it'll vary. For our bows, 27 is gonna work, I hope, if I measured correctly. Anyways, you're gonna set these up like this, and this is gonna come onto the bottom. Now I'll kind of straighten it out here a bit. Go grab my camera and show you a bit of a close-up. So it should look like this. Now if I had a pocket hole jig, I could drill on an angle like that into here and it would look a little nicer, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is measure out here down, and then I'm going to pre-drill 3 holes and send screws right into there on both sides. And then once that's done, we'll get, I want to put some braces in here yet, just to keep it from coming in, make it a little bit more rigid. So what we'll do now is we'll start drilling and screw this together, and we'll see what it looks like after that. So what I like to do is, I'm sure there's easier ways, but this works for me, is line it up. And then what I'll do is just make a mark on the inside here on both of them. So basically what that does is gives me a line. Now it doesn't matter if it's in or out, doesn't matter. And then what I'll do, and the reason I'm pre-drilling is because I don't want it to split the wood. That is, if you split wood, it's very annoying. So I'm going to pop a hole here, pop a hole here, and one there. Do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3. So now you have your line, you can match it up. And make sure it's as flush as you can get it. And then what I'm going to do is pre-drill a hole through there. And now, oh, I didn't bring my screws. I'll be right back. Got them. Okay, so these are 1.5 inches, which will be long good enough. I'm going to send one in there. Make sure I hit my pre-drilled right there. Perfect. So now I'm going to make sure that I'm square on the inside now that that's cinched down. And I can pre-drill the rest of my holes. And then we'll finish this side off and move to the next side. Just like that. Impact driver works really nice for this too. So now you see it's a little bit lipped there. I'm going to sand that out and we'll be good to go. So let's do it on the other side and then I'll show you where we go from there. So we'll pre-drill this one so we don't split it. Send a screw through. Boom. Now it's not going to go anywhere. Now we can focus on pre-drilling our other ones. Like that. Boom, there you go. So now should look something like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a spacer in here. I think we'll do one a little up higher here because I need to put a backing plate on here. Well, you probably can't see. There. I need to put a backing plate on here so I can hit my studs. So there'll be a stud on either side, then one in the middle. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our spacers for here and up here, and then fasten those. I think I was gonna brad nail them, but I think I'll do exactly what I did here, is just pre-drill and then put screws in. It's definitely stronger. You could do brad nail and glue, but don't want to deal with that right now. Screws are way nicer, way easier to use. Finish isn't probably the best, but hey, it'll look good in the end, so let's do it. Okay, so off camera I cut 2 pieces, and this one's 3.5, this one's 1.5. So this one is gonna go right in here, and this one will be kind of up here somewheres. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure the inside from here to here, and then cut those to length, and then everything will be the same. So that is 25 3/8. So now we will measure 25 3/8 and 25 3/8. Grab my speed square. As I drop it. Drop it. Commentary from the boy. Get a line there. And a line there. Now we'll cut these in the miter saw. Oh, need to plug it in. Okay, so now these should fit nicely in there, as they do. Perfect. Now we're gonna put them exactly like this. Oh, it's a little bit short there, but that's okay. It's just a brace. So now what I'm gonna do is same thing I did before. I'm gonna use my speed square, and that's exactly what you want to happen. I'm just gonna mark a line going down from there. Same thing on this side, going down from there. And then put it in there, kind of like that. And then we'll mark our line on the other side. On the other side, so there, now I have my lines. I don't know if you can see that. Now I'm gonna pop my holes my drill. I'll probably do just 2 screws here, so there. Perfect. Put this guy in, line it up with our lines. And then we will need more stuff in my way. We'll put a screw in there. And then we will do the same thing here. Oh no, we want to go further. I gotta look at my plans. That's another good thing, is always draw out plans. It helps quite a bit. So I want to go 3 inches down from the top. Make sure my angle's right here. Oh yeah. I'm gonna move it back a little bit. There we go. So I want to go 3 inches. And 3 inches. So that's where the top of this is going to go. Drill. Perfect. So now this is what you're left with. Something just like that.
That's Mommy's houses.
So what I've seen in some videos is what some guys will do is they'll, before they rip this one, is they'll actually drill holes and then rip the center of the holes, and as they drill they'll put it on top of this one and just pop holes halfway through, and you can actually stand your arrows up on here when your bows are hanging there. It looks cool, but I didn't feel like doing that. Most of my arrows stayed in my quiver anyways, so we're just gonna use these as supports, and now I'm gonna put one on here, come flush to the top, and that'll be what we screw to the wall. So actually, before we do that, we're gonna mark our holes for our dowels. Now the dowels, the reason I'm putting dowels in is, well, obviously they're to hang the bow. So that's what we're gonna do now. And in my plans, they are 2 inches down everywhere. So 2 inches from here, 2 inches from there, 2 from there, 2 from there, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm gonna grab my punch. Be right back. Okay, so now you can see I punched out the holes there, and that's just so the drill bit can get started straight. There, all the way along. Yeah, like I said, that's just so the drill bit can get started straight and you're not all over the place. Okay, so now what I've done is I've actually marked my drill bit with painter's tape. And that just lets me know the depth, so I want to go about 1 inch into the wood for the dowels. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. The bows aren't very heavy, but with glue and everything it should be long good enough. So now we're going to drill down till we hit the tape. Something like that. And do that all the way around. Okay, everything is cut, or sorry, not cut, drilled out. Now I'm thinking I want the doweling, I'll move my camera so you can see me. So I'm thinking with this piece of doweling, it coming out, I'd like to have it about 4 inches. At least I think that's what I want. Yeah, 4 inches. So plus the inch going in, I'm gonna cut everything at 5 inches. So let's mark this out, and then I'm gonna cut it on the miter saw. Actually, I might just use the jigsaw, that might be a little bit easier. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we've got all our dowels cut, 5 inches. They should all be the same, hopefully. What I'm gonna do, just to take these burrs off, I don't know if you can see that. Just take these little burrs off. I'm just gonna sand it, maybe just bevel it ever so slightly. There we go. Now, these aren't just gonna sit in there like that. I'll glue them in yet. I just wanna see what it's gonna look like. They fit nice with a little bit of glue. They ain't gonna come out at all. At all. Okay, So basically this is what it's gonna look like. That looks pretty slick. So now I'm gonna put the backing up on here and glue these in, and then get to the part I'm excited for because I've never tried it before. So let's do it. Okay, so what I got done now is the top mounting board that I'm gonna use stud finder, find the studs, and then I can pop 2 screws in each stud. And as I was doing that, I was thinking, well, that's gonna hang weird if it's just this on the back. So I ended up putting one on the bottom just so it would sit even on the wall. And then I was thinking, if you want to get crafty, you can actually like close this off higher and make little pull-out drawers, and then you can actually put all your broadheads in there, your string wax, you know, whatever you need for hunting stuff. But I'm not going to do that because this is going to be perfect for me. So now what I'm going to do is sand everything down. I'm going to glue my dowels in, and then we're going to move outside and show you what I'm going to do next. I'm kind of excited for it. It's going to be fun. Okay, so I got my wood glue. Oh, it's stuck. I'm just gonna put a little bit on this piece of wood here. Start with that. And what I'm gonna do is put some in the hole and then put a little bit on here. I'll do this one and I'll do a close up here. And once that's done, then you wanna push it in till you hit the bottom. We're gonna put a little bit in the hole. And then we're gonna put a little bit on the dowel itself. And then we're gonna push her in. Boom, what a great fit. Just like that. Now we're gonna do the rest of them, let that set up, and then go outside. Now let's let the fun begin. Well, there you have it. Now you don't want to actually burn, like start it on fire. I know on the corners, some of the corners that actually started to crisp up a bit, but that's okay. Now we're gonna do a light sand and then a clear coat, and that'll bring all that grain out. Let's go back inside and see what it looks like up close. You guys, look how sweet this looks. Look at how it brought that grain out. That's so cool. I've never done this before. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just use some sandpaper by hand and just buff over everything, clean it all up. Then I'll start clear coating. And I'm hoping that when we clear coat, it's just going to bring everything up. So I'm going to get the sand in here, and then I'll see you when we start clear coating. Okay, so this is what it looks like after we're done sanding. Now, ran into a little mishap when I was kind of turning around. I actually broke this one off, and so I cut it flush, re-drilled, glued a new one in. Now we're gonna let that set up and then start clear coating. But yeah, it's looking pretty sweet. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm gonna start clear coating over here. Now you'll see the stuff's pretty white. Don't worry about it because it dries clear. And I got a semi-gloss, so it's not gonna be too shiny, but have a little bit of shine. So let's see what this does to bring out the grain after being burnt. Oh yeah, that's gonna look sweet. I'll do a couple pieces here and then I'll bring the camera closer. Oh man, that's cool. Here you go, guys. This part here, that hasn't been clear coated yet, but this part has. Look at the difference. Brings out that grain, that dark look. It's awesome. All right, now I got the first coat on. Now it's time to let it dry, and then I'm gonna buff it up a little bit with some light sandpaper and then do another coat, and then we should be ready to hang on the wall. But I'm impressed on how much the grain has come out. It looks really sweet, like check it out. This inside one's my favorite. So sweet. All right, you guys, it's all done. I'll give you one last look, and then we're gonna go install it and see how it all works out. So I finished 2 coats. It looks pretty sweet. Gotta love it when you hit the studs first try. Moment of truth. Boom. Just like that. That's slick. There you have it. That's a wicked bow hanger right there. Well, there you have it. A nice, simple, cheap, decorative way of hanging your archery equipment. It was an awesome time building it. And like I said, I didn't buy any of the wood other than the dowels just because I've had some left over. So this was all leftover wood for me. Yeah, it was fun. Looks great. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them as I can. Hopefully this sparks some creativity in you guys, and you guys can start building some stuff like this. It's fun. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.